Hello, my name is Chevelle Kimber, and today we are answering the question, what is Blackness, for our Race, Film, and Society course with Professor Joseph Tribble. What is blackness? The quality or state of color of the least lightest, the least resemblance to white. What is blackness? It has two components: the external, the stigma of dark skin and African features, and the internal, pride, culture, history, survival, struggle, and achievements. What is blackness? With all the information that I have ingested over the past 5 weeks with regard to studying this course, Race, Film, and Society, defining what is blackness, in my opinion, is entirely too elusive. There is no right or wrong answer regarding what is blackness, especially when you decide or perceive who you are and who you want to be. In Soledad O'Brien's documentary, Who is Black in America?, a young girl states, "We don't get to choose. Most oftentimes, society has decided for you the moment that they've laid eyes on you." I agree with her. From the moment people look at one another, a perception has been made, even before you've uttered a word. So then perception becomes the reality of how you see yourself and others that determine what blackness is. Some people will look at you and simply because your skin is darker or that your hair texture is not straight, you have been perceived as black. One of the most unsettling discussions we've had in this course, out of the many discussions that we've had, is that a person's hairstyle could in fact influence what type of career choices that were available to a black person. Unfortunately, if a black person wanted to enter the career of, let's say, a lawyer, and they had a natural hairstyle such as an afro, braids, or even dreadlocks, that could hinder their choices of employment. So therefore, a person has to make a decision on whether they are going to stay true to themselves or change their appearance for employment's sake, keeping in mind that families need to be fed and bills come every month at the same time. What is blackness is a sensitive matter in a plethora of ways. One being who you fall in love with. You can't help who your heart tells you to love. And I believe this is quite sensitive when it comes to interracial relationships. Black and white people have been programmed from slavery that white is superior and black is worthless. I believe that society is in shambles today when it comes to interracial marriages, black and white in particular, because the white man has always dominated the black male and female since slavery. Then to turn around and to want to marry someone who wasn't even considered human at one point in time in this nation's history just seems ludicrous at the notion that black people weren't even human. In an article written by Angela Wing entitled "Another Saturday Night, or Have All the Brothers Gone to White Women," states, in some instances, interracial relationships are portrayed not only signs of impurity, but also as a result of uncontrollable sex lust. Let's use the hit television show Scandal. I personally enjoy watching that show, but I'd like to make it clear that I do not condone the adulterous relationship. The show is gripping with action, suspense, deceit, but most of all, it is this adulterous love affair between a black woman and a white man, which speaks to the point of impurity and uncontrollable sexual lust. There is much to be said about this subject, especially after all the readings and reviewing of the movies and documentaries that I've had to watch for this course. I will say this: you cannot help who you love. Love has no color. So, what is blackness? The quality or state of not being white? What is whiteness? According to the readings by Lipitz, whiteness is the quality or state of being white, entitled to justice. White never has to speak its name, never has to acknowledge its role in social or cultural relationships, according to Lipitz. I think that's totally amazing that whiteness never has to speak its name. Well, what is blackness? I'll tell you what blackness is to me. Blackness is a way of life, a culture. To me, blackness is being born to a black man and a black woman and raised in a home and an environment where we believed in Jesus. Growing up in the Northeast in a neighborhood that was predominantly white, blackness for me was being awakened at 3 o'clock in the morning to hearing arguing voices over who was going to strike a match to burn down our house after the gasoline was poured. Blackness to me is my family attending a black church with a black preacher who preached about the ills that face us as black people. Blackness to me is growing up with 2 very large afro puffs and cornrows adorned with beads for my hairstyle. Blackness to me is racing to the television set and watching the Jackson 5 cartoon or Fat Albert and then sitting just watching Soul Train. Blackness to me is waking up on Sunday mornings to the smell of grits and eggs and bacon with Mahalia Jackson music playing in the background before our family attended church service. Blackness to me is listening to soul music by the Jackson 5 or Diana Ross on a record that wore the label Motown. Blackness to me is the soul food that my mother and grandmother prepared for dinner. You know, fried chicken and collard greens and macaroni and cheese with potato salad and candied yams and black-eyed peas along with hot water cornbread. Blackness to me is a person's own unique situation and experiences that life presents to them. Blackness to me is it's a decision. It's a decision that we dig deep into ourselves and embrace how God has created us and made us, because we were created in the image of God. All people. Blackness to me is just beautiful. Blackness is strong. Blackness is independent. Blackness is just beautiful. I thank God that I'm black, and I thank God that He made me black, because God does not make mistakes. So I have enjoyed this course on race, film, and society, and Professor Tribble has done a tremendous job in presenting this course and moving from this point forward how I view blackness and black people and just people in general will never be the same again. Thank you for this time, and thank you for this opportunity. And I'd be interested to know what blackness is to you. Thank you, and until next time, have a great day. Bye-bye.